Ladies and gentlemen, I did not make a video last week because I've been too busy playing World of Warcraft, but I'm back in black after hitting the sack, and as you can see, we have this fancy new smart board behind us, made out of wood. I rolled up to the general store asking if they have a smart board so I can spruce up my videos a little bit, and they were like, yeah sure man, we can hook you up. So here it is, a fancy new feature. And speaking of features, today's video is 5 forgotten features, forgotten by players or the devs, I don't really know, they're just forgotten. Most people have forgotten about these things that I'm going to list off in this video. Of course there's going to be a few exceptions, there's probably a handful of people out there who still remember these things or still interact with these things in the game, but bar the rare people, these features are pretty forgotten. Some of them I did not even know existed. But before we get into the video, it is sponsor time! Raid Shadow Legends, a mega hit, a phenomenon, a blockbuster, get real and raw in this dark and epic fantasy game. It's a brand new collection RPG game that has more than 10 million players worldwide in less than 6 months. It has a fully voiced story campaign, a bunch of different factions with over 400 champions. My personal favourite being the orcs, they look sick. Check out the detail on these guys. The game is completely free with over 300,000 reviews. It has an almost perfect score on the Play Store. And the game continues to grow quickly. They recently published a roadmap where they have plans for big updates over the next 6 months. So there's going to be an insane amount of content for people to enjoy, no time to get bored. There's a new faction, a tag team arena, and even a new clan boss. Go to the description, click on the special links and get your free 50,000 silver and epic champion as a part of their new player program to start your journey. Forgotten feature number 1. There is a completely abandoned coal mine to the west of Dicerz village. You've been there probably, you go across this log balance agility shortcut or go north from the fishing guild, and this big abandoned coal mine lies in wait, completely dead. There's a couple of bats dotted around for some reason. I haven't seen a single person here since Old School Runescape came out back in 2013. Not a single soul. But the mine itself isn't the forgotten feature for this video, it's actually the coal trucks. Without any diary completed, if you were mining coal here, you could store up to 120 coal in the trucks. After completing a couple of diaries, it goes up to 140, then 280, then 308. So after you deposit a bunch of coal into these coal trucks, the coal trucks transport your coal all the way to the coal truck deposit place back in Dicerz village north of the pub, just next to the bank. So you can mine 120 or more coal, teleport to Dicerz village, head to the coal trucks, withdraw it, bank it over and over again, then head back to the mine 120 or more coal, rinse and repeat. I had completely forgotten these things exist until I was looking for forgotten features for this video. Even though this came out back in July 2002, today it would still be an okay way to gather a decent amount of coal, especially for Iron Men. But with the addition of the blast furnace ore store, a majority of Iron Men who need coal or any other ore typically just buy it from there. Back in the day when this first came out, back in the real Old School Runescape between 2002 and 2007 or so, I imagine this place was probably packed. Coal was actually worth a decent amount of GP back in the day, and people didn't really know any better. People would just mine coal because it was a part of the game. That's when people just done things for the sake of doing it instead of having an actual reason. Although today the coal trucks are completely abandoned, I'm the only person I've ever seen mine here. Back in 2002, 2003, 2004, it would have looked something like this. Bonus feature, forgotten feature, poison chalices. If you speak to the dwarf Stankers, he gives you a poison chalice which sometimes heals you, sometimes does nothing, or sometimes damages you insanely, up to 30 damage. It's like a game of Russian roulette with a poisoned cocktail. And the reason this dwarf exists is because the Gower brothers who originally made the game, bonus fact by the way, knew a guy who they would call Stankers who would invent cocktails. Sometimes they'd be good, sometimes they'd be bad, so they got the poison chalice after him, which is sometimes good, sometimes bad. Also back in Classic, an extra bonus fact, he was actually a human, but when RuneScape 2 came out they changed him to a dwarf, I imagine to fit this sort of dwarf canon theme in the area. Forgotten feature number 2. I'm hoping that when I reveal forgotten feature number 2, your response will be, oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. Here it goes. Slayer partners. Slayer partners. Who wants to be my Slayer partner? The idea for this video came about when someone in the clan chat asked that exact question. Who wants to be my Slayer partner? I was like, holy crap, that's a thing. I totally forgot about it. What else in RuneScape have people forgotten about that could make an interesting video? Boom, this video exists. The ability to have a Slayer partner was released back in 2015, and it almost instantly became dead content. Having a Slayer partner is actually a negative, because if you want to have someone train Slayer with you on the same monster, on the same world, you both go there, you both start slaying the monster, and then you realize, oh, there's less there, there's less for me because there's two of us doing the same thing. It's actually pretty annoying. And for whatever reason, if you both tag team the same monster, because that's the idea I had of Slayer partners, where you'd both fight the same thing, make it die really, really quickly, so then your Slayer task is a bit faster. Nope, if you both tag team the same monster and it dies, only one person gets the XP, the other person gets 0.
Yay. I didn't get any XP.
So, Slayer partners was a feature left to die, it hasn't been changed, and it is very rarely used, leading it to become a forgotten feature.
You're not picking up your blood runes? I'm taking them. We're Slayer partners, dude.
I've had enough of this Englishman's crap. I'm gonna dump him.
Dicerz is no longer your Slayer partner.
Forgotten feature number 3. One very unique feature in the city of Dorgish Khan, the Goblin city that's underneath Lumbridge, is being able to sell sort of surface level food like fish and pies and stews and all this weird stuff to these goblins who have never seen it before. These goblins being basement dwelling rats, the people like you sitting playing RuneScape 6. No, I'm kidding, that was mean. So if you introduce to them food they've never seen before, they will pay for it. However, they don't pay very much, they actually pay very little. Making this very fascinating and cool feature in this city very obsolete and pointless, and no one is ever going to do it, or probably has done it, except maybe caveman only Iron Men. I asked Modash why this exists on Twitter, which you should definitely follow by the way, at Dicerz, and he replied, it provides some atmosphere to the town, where the citizens show interest in strange stuff from places they've never visited, and I think the dev intended it to be rewarding occasionally if you brought something really interesting. I did bring a bunch of random food to try and sell to these little goblin boys, but none of them were offering me a good price. But Modash does say it can occasionally be rewarding, so try it out. Bring some obscure food to these little goblin boys, see if any of them can make you some money. It is pretty cool how they introduced this feature to this goblin city, almost for the pure aspect of it, adding story and lore and sort of richness to the town, making it a little bit more realistic. Well, not realistic, it's a bunch of goblins underground, but you know what I mean. I actually found this forgotten food market thing as I was exploring the city for something else, which is now going to be a bonus feature. Dorgish Khan Spheres. Players can get access to these spheres after completing the Death to the Dogashan quest. You speak to the crazy goblin scientist in the northwest of the city. It costs 2 law runes and 1 molten glass per sphere, so you bring those runes to the guy, he gives you spheres, and the spheres teleport you to any random location in the city. A bit weird, but it is the best way to actually get to the city. Stock up on these spheres, have them in your bank, because occasionally you might have to come here. I didn't know these spheres existed, and I didn't know the food market existed. Hopefully I've just either taught you about them or reminded you of them at least. Forgotten feature number 4? About 50% of the Lunar Spellbook is absolutely useless. I forgot some of these things existed, and hell, I didn't even know some of these spells existed. To demonstrate some of the things I'm talking about, I've gathered some goons from the clan chat that you should definitely join. You just type in Dicerz, and we're going to use some group spells. Boost Potion Share. If you have a combat boosting potion, like a super combat potion, and use the Boost Potion Share option, click on the potion, it then spreads it across 4 people with accept aid on, including yourself. So if you have a party of 4 doing bandos, you can use the stat Boost Share in one go to boost up everyone. And another one similarly is the stat Restore Pot Share, so using something like a restore potion or a prayer potion, a potion that restores stats, not boosts stats, can be shared with up to 4 people. However, interestingly, when you use this spell and you do get the effect of the potions, it does not use a dose of the potion for yourself. So I used that stat restore potion with the spell, and I still have 1 dose left, even though 4 of us technically got the benefit from it. Which means if you're dueling with someone, say you're doing Slayer partners dueling, or you're double teaming a boss or whatever, technically with this, only 1 person could bring the potions, and if they're on the Lunar Spellbook, use the potions to affect both people. That way, it's 1 potion for the price of 2 basically, if you're sharing every potion. Stat Spy is a spell. that I had no idea existed, and I don't know why it exists. It even has this incredible unique animation where some big creepy eyeball comes up and starts blasting the guy you're using the spell on, and then you get to see his stats. That's what the spell does. You see people's stats. This came out in 2007 when the high scores existed. It was easier to just search up someone's name on the high scores than to get the ruins, go switch to the Lunar Spellbook, come back, find the guy you want to stats by, and stats by him. I don't know why this was released in the first place. And my personal favourite spell on the Lunar Spellbook is Tele Others, especially Tele Others to the Fishing Guild. Do you and your boys want to go to the Fishing Guild? Don't you worry, I know a spellbook that can teleport us all there for the price of one, baby. Now we're all at the Fishing Guild. I actually teleported here because I wanted to go back to AFK fishing after having these guys help me record the clips. So I'm going to go AFK fish. I don't know what these guys are going to do. They're trapped here without any teleport. There are a lot of weird spells on this spellbook, some of which you might not know have existed or completely forgot had existed. One of those being Dream, where you can put yourself into a dreamlike state where you recharge hit points 3 times faster. The best thing about that though isn't the effect of the spell but the animation for video makers. Forgotten feature number 5. Within the White Knight Castelli, there's an NPC called Serenity, and some avid fashionscapers out there might remember that he can change your family crest, and then you can turn that crest into heraldry for shields and banners. I'm the Dragon Knight, baby, look at this. Helmets too, I forgot. Serenity turned me into a ham. I'm the Ham Knight, baby, look at this. Oh, that helmet is sick. The Zamorak heraldry with the black helmet, red top, that fits my RuneScape fashionscape outfit perfectly. In order to turn your family crest into this heraldry armor and banner, you need to build a pluming stand or the other variations of it in the workshop, then bring some planks and cloth to make your stuff. There are a lot of other options for heraldry, check them out. You could find something that suits your fashionscape needs. They do all look pretty darn cool though. There's one that costs 500k, there's a skull one, they're all pretty nifty. And that's it for this video, 5 forgotten features. If you watched this video thinking, I knew all of these things existed, I never forgot about these things, congratulations, you've got the mind like a steel elephant. But personally, everything I included in this video are things I had either forgotten about or did not know existed. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider either leaving a rating or a comment or both, because engagement on videos does help it in the YouTube algorithm. Huge thanks to all of the channel members who help support the channel: Vicken, Rough Giraffes, Dakota K, Aiden C, Moona Deathwatcher, Legends, and thanks to all the brand new supporters: Ink Plays, FVFVFE, XCVXCV, Stefan L, Julius, Insommer, Grizzle Bear, Meme Wazowski, Kona Luck, Ignis De Suter, Stealthopotamus, Red SA, Francis B, Will S, Paul A, S, Dutch RM, and Simon S. Saying these names gets harder every time. Big thanks, you're helping the channel out immensely. If you'd like to become a channel member and support the channel and get some extra benefits for doing so, consider clicking that join button under the video. You get some exclusive cool perks like bonus videos, content. Not like full videos, but behind the scenes type stuff.